Have you heard of the Jonathan Gannon theory? Whether you like him or you hate him, you're hoping that it's true, and we're going to find out this weekend. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So when I say the name Jonathan Gannon, what do you think? You probably, as an Eagle fan, either love him or you hate him. There doesn't seem to be any in between. But I think we're all hoping that this week the Jonathan Gannon theory is true. And you're saying to yourself, what's the Jonathan Gannon theory? Well, we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet right here. And if you want to help support the channel because you like the content, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. It's the only true way to break out of the algorithms that hold us back. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube's been acting a little weird. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's just because they're updating things. I don't know. But just double check. That would be a great, great favor. And thank you for all your support if you've been with me for a while. Just a reminder for everybody, I will be streaming all 4 playoff games this weekend. It should be a lot of fun. Capizzle's going to come and he is going to watch the game with us, Eagles-Giants. We will be putting him into retirement because I believe he's retiring from YouTube after this season. So there's only one thing that I could do, put him in retirement. And that belt is almost shined up. I'm still waiting on the shine box to finish, but it's getting there. Now, before we get into what I want to talk about, we do have a little bit of Eagles breaking news we got to talk about. This is kind of an interesting move. The Pound Eagles signed Kennedy Brooks to a reserve future deal. Now, if you remember, he was an undrafted running back rookie free agent that we brought in last year. We only got to see him a little bit in preseason. I liked what I saw, but he wound up getting cut. The Eagles bring him back, and he'll be with us at least this offseason. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Eagles do in the offseason at the running back spot, because in my personal opinion, I really think you need 2 running backs. You got to figure out whether you're going to sign Miles or not, and then address it if you don't. And I think you need to get a bigger back in. I think you need a big, short yardage back. Somebody like a Jordan Howard or something. I would love to say, oh, they could just use Trey Sermon. We haven't seen Trey Sermon. I have no confidence that the Eagles think that he is any answer to the running back situation in the future. So we're going to find out. I will be having my preview prediction video for the Eagles-Giants game tomorrow. That'll be along with the rest of the playoffs. I'll give you a prediction on all the games. But it's going to be exciting, man. We're like 2 days away. This week is going really slow, but like at the same time, it's kind of going really quick. I'm just ready to get this game on. Like, I can play this game right now. Let's play right now. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? This game is going to be huge. And I know that it's really, what everybody's talking about this week is Jalen Hurts and his shoulder. Is Jalen Hurts' shoulder good enough where he's going to be able to make the throws, he's going to be able to run, take all the hits, and basically give us our full open playbook of plays that are possible with Jalen Hurts? Because when you have to worry about Jalen Hurts running and he gives that dimension to this offense gets elevated to a new place. There's no question about it. So we all know about Jalen Hurts and how important he is. And let's face it, if Jalen Hurts goes out and he wins this big game, she's going to shut up a lot of people who don't believe in him even after what he did, okay? This is a big game for Jalen Hurts. But to me, it's also a big game for the defense, because this is the game we need the defense to step up. We need guys healthy. We're going to have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back. He's going to be playing in the slot. And it looks like we're going to have Josh Sweat back. Josh Talentino said this: sounds like Josh Sweat is ready to resume his starting role. Brandon Graham said he looked that Sweat looked terrific, explosive, hungry like Philly 500's always hungry in practice this week. Brandon Graham says Sweat and Haason Reddick have led the way for him to deliver the knockout punch on opposing quarterbacks late in games. And Brandon Graham, he has come up in big game situations at the end. He's always done that. Listen, look what he did in the Super Bowl. But we need Josh Sweat this week. We need him versus Giants. We need everybody we can get, okay? Because I think and I feel like this. The Giants kind of look like they're starting to use Danny Dimes, Danny Pennies, okay, Daniel Jones. They're kind of using him a little bit like Jalen Hurts in that they're letting him run more. I thought last week Daniel Jones had his best game I've ever seen him play, mainly because of his decision-making. He took off when things weren't there. He used his feet. He's a far better runner than people, probably think. Just look at him. You just look at Daniel Jones, and he's almost got the Eli face. Remember the Eli face? Well, Daniel Jones is like a half Eli face. It's like... But you look at him and go, that dork can't run. That dork is playing with his pocket pencil protector. Okay, he's probably playing Magic in the basement. You know what I mean? He ain't doing anything else. But he's a very good athlete, and he can run, and he can throw, and he's playing his best football, okay? And if you look at the Giants' offense, they're letting him do more. And I think this week, when the Eagles play him, I think he's going to take off a lot. I don't want to see situations where it's 3rd and 8, and Daniel Jones gets the first down with his feet. 3rd and 9, he gets to his feet. 3rd and 11. I don't want to see that, okay? So I think that coming out and playing like a shell defense or not putting pressure on him, sitting back kind of like Minnesota did, I think Daniel Jones is going to eat you up. I think he's going to eat you up. And one of the complaints I've had with Jonathan Gannon in the past is at times I feel he gives way too much respect to quarterbacks. Some that don't deserve it. And then the ones that really do, he gives almost too much. That's why you could see a guy like Dak Prescott go into the half 16-18 versus the Eagles. Or we saw Derek Carr last year. He was like 36-39. These guys had ridiculous completion percentages with the Eagles in the past. And I think this is the week that Jonathan Gannon's gotta unleash this defense, okay? Which takes me to the Jonathan Gannon theory. I don't know if you've heard it before or not, but there's a theory that has been around all season long that Jonathan Gannon only shows so much defensively because he's waiting to unleash everything during the playoffs. Now, a lot of people shoo this and they don't believe it and they think, that's not true. But things like that have happened before. You go in the playoffs and you play a division team, a team that sees you a lot. You got to do something to change things up, okay? So it's not surprising. I remember way back talking, I don't know how many years ago, but I remember Ben Roethlisberger, right? He was with the Steelers, and he was really, his first few years, he was more of like a game manager. He ran the ball with Bess, ran the ball. And then when Ben Roethlisberger got to the playoffs, I believe it was against, I want to say the Colts, the year they won the Super Bowl. They came out in that game, and instead of running, they came out throwing. And it completely threw the Indianapolis Colts off. And he played really good, and that was kind of like the time you saw that Ben Roethlisberger kind of take his game to another level. I think the Giants did that in some ways with Daniel Jones last week versus the Vikings. And I think it's time for the Eagles to do that with their defense. If they're playing shell, if they're playing back, I think Daniel Jones is going to move the ball. And a lot of people think that Jonathan Gannon has just been waiting. What the hell is that noise? Okay, my fault, my bad. My cat was locked out of the room and she wanted to get to her kittens. I shut the door by accident on her. That's my fault. My bad. I'm sorry. She looked like she was about to attack Philly 500. She was about to kill me because, she can't be away from her kittens. But anyways, as I was saying, I think this is the week where Jonathan Gannon needs to come out and be aggressive. He needs to prove the Jonathan Gannon theory correct. And that theory is that he's going to start blitzing, start being more aggressive once the playoffs begin. And when I say that, I don't mean to say that he's never aggressive or anything like that. Jonathan Gannon is a smart coach, okay? He's a good coach. I don't particularly care for the scheme sometimes, but I think he's a good coach. I like to see more aggressiveness, longer periods of time when the Eagles play. I think there are too many times where he waits to make the adjustment and he could make it a bunch earlier. Now, some people who love him are going to say, listen, Philly, he puts up great numbers. Look at the team's statistical numbers. And I'll say this to them. Yes, you're correct. And if he was more aggressive, it would be even better. I think the statistics would be even better. Jonathan Gannon, by his own admission, said if he didn't put Haason Reddick in pass coverage as much as he did this year, he would have had 25 sacks. Well, I say if a guy is going to go out and have 25 sacks, let him go out and have 25 sacks. You know? But I think that this is the week that Jonathan Gannon has to change up and be more aggressive. I want to see them play man. I want them to play man-to-man on those wide receivers. You could put a spy on Daniel Jones and be more aggressive. You know, maybe blitz him more. Force Daniel Jones to have to get rid of the ball more. Keep him from running the ball. That is key. If they can do that, I don't think the Giants are going to be able to consistently move this ball through the air. The Eagles have Bradbury. They have Darius Slay. I really think that sometimes they play too much zone and not enough man. And if they stick with the man all game, I think that they're going to give the Giants a problem. The Giants are going to be looking at the Eagles. They're going to look at the last 2 times they played them this year. They're going to look at everything they do, and they're going to expect more of the same. Now's the time to switch it up. Now's the time to come out and unleash on the New York Giants. Unleash it. Boom. Pause. On the New York Giants. That's what I think that they have to do. I think it's really important for the Eagles to come out in this game and get up on the Giants. If the Eagles let the Giants hang around and you get to the second quarter and it's a tie game, you get to the third quarter, it's a tie game, or it's like a 3-point game or something like that, you're just going to give the Giants more and more confidence. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be mayhem. Okay? And if the Eagles come out and they jump on the Giants early, I think it may be too much for the Giants to overcome. They'll eventually settle down, make close, but I think it'll be too much. The Eagles have to jump on the Giants early. I believe that the Jonathan Gannon theory is about to be proven correct because I think Jonathan Gannon is going to be a lot more aggressive on defense than he has been all year, and it's going to throw the Giants off. I truly believe it, but we're going to find out. I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be awesome. And like I've said, pretty much the last few weeks is, I think when you look at the first, these 2 home games the Eagles possibly could play in the divisional and conference round, this is the game where I feel they're more vulnerable because they had the bye week. We're not so sure about Jalen Hurts' shoulder yet. We got to see what Lane Johnson's going to do. I look at it much like 2017 when the Eagles played the Atlanta Falcons in the divisional round of the playoffs. The Eagles struggled with them. It was a close game. Came down to the last play of the game on 4th down, right in the end zone. Atlanta almost pulled that game off. The next game, the Eagles played the Vikings, and they just destroyed them. I feel like that's the same situation here. You get through this game, you win this game, it's going to be a close game. Then the 49ers or the Cowboys, don't matter who you're playing, whoever it is going to be coming in to the Philly. It's going to be a buzzsaw. It is going to be a very hard place to win when the Eagles are 1 game from the Super Bowl. So this is the game where I feel like come out, stay more aggressive, be more aggressive, unleash your defensive line, play man, spy Daniel Jones, and kind of throw them off a little bit. Don't sit back. Don't let them do stuff in front of you. Don't play like the Vikings did. Don't play that style at all. Be more aggressive, and I think you got this thing in the bag. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And remember, It's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So when the cat came in to see her kittens, this was one of them. Here we go. Almost 2 weeks old. Here we go. We haven't named them yet. They're just starting to come to kind of come into their own. Their eyes just opened. They still can't hear, but man, they're cute. They're nice. And this one's the talker of the bunch. How are you? How are you? Definitely an Eagles fan. Denzel Washington out.